everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome the newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey by hitting that subscription button. It's free, and hit the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. I would just like to mention that if the video is a little bit too fast for you, up top there's 3 little buttons. You can click there, slow down the video to the speed you'd like. Also, right next to it, there's the CC letters for closed caption. You can turn that on, and you can read all the stitch that I'm calling down here. By pausing the video, take notes will make it easier for you. Now, normally when I upload the videos, it takes about an hour for YouTube to search all my words that I'm saying, so it can appear on the closed caption. So don't panic if you don't see right away the closed captions, because the video has just been launched. It will show up in about a half an hour to an hour after the upload. I also would like to mention that if you have extra yarn, extra thread, and you'd like to help the women in need, we highly appreciate it and being very, very grateful for it. Thank you for the ones I already have helped and are still helping. If you'd like to donate, right below the video, there's a little bag of $. You can donate whatever amount you'd like. Nobody's asking for millions. Anything helps. It adds up at the end. You can also go into the description box. My PayPal account is there. You can donate through there if you'd like also. Please always give a thumbs up on the video if you like the video. It does help the video to circulate and also to be recognized worldwide. I gratefully appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's one way to help me out and to help to continue to create these beautiful pieces. Also share on your Facebook public. It costs nothing. Everything is free. There's no charge of anything. So please help out to grow the channel. I do have a Facebook group, private group. If you have a profile, you're more than welcome to request to be a member. It's free, of course, and we'll approve you. You must have a profile. Be careful with the links that you go into the groups that says cut and bit. These are fraud scammers that go through your phones, your computers, and take every information of yours. Do not open up those links. There's a lot of hackers in the groups now. That's why I made sure that my group is private. I want to thank every single one of you from the start being with me, and thank you so much for the newcomers. It costs nothing to subscribe, so please do so. Thank you so much, everybody. Everything will be listed always in the description box for every pattern that I create, the sizes, the thread that I use, which is Portugal thread. They're 100% cotton thread, 4-ply, which is similar to Aunt Lydia. Number 3, which number 3 Aunt Lydia is just a little bit thicker than my thread, not by much, but a little bit. I usually use a hook 3 or 3.5, a small one for tucking in loose ends, and a pair of scissors, of course. So thank you, everybody. Any other questions, suggestions, please feel free to comment. You can always get a hold of me if your intentions are to give some thread or yarn away. There's my email below the description box. There's my Facebook page that you can follow also, my Facebook group, my Instagram, my TikTok. So there's so many ways you can message me. Thank you so much, everybody. I hug every single one of you, and much blessings to all of you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, everyone. So I'm going to create another placemat similar to this one that I had done it a little while back, but I'm going to create it in, well, similar, okay, in white and gold. This placemat is part of the teapot, cattle, and the little cups, teacups. That was part of the giveaway, Christmas giveaway, which I randomly at the last minute decided to add one more giveaway present to one of my subscribers. So I already have the cups made. I need to create the cattle and the placemat, but because I'm going to change up a bit the placemat, it will be another creation. So that's what I'm going to do. So I hope you're going to enjoy this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up. It's extremely important. Share if you can. Sharing is caring. And congratulations to all the women that did win these sets. That was done yesterday. 2.75 hook, These are 4 plies, 100% cotton thread, best, similar to Aunt Lydia number 3, best for these type of placemats. Aunt Lydia number 3 is perfect. Small one to tuck in loose ends, and of course, a pair of scissors. So we're going to get started, everyone. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. And thank you so much also for the women that came through for the thread, for the women in need, and your donations, your super thanks, super chat donations. God bless you. Thank you so much. And for the ones that haven't yet, please consider, and anything, any amount counts. If we all can pitch in a bit at the end, it counts a lot to help out these women, especially now it's Christmas time. And even if it wasn't, they can sure use thread to get busy and create beautiful pieces and get their minds out of the daily stress. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. So I'm going to do the magic circle. For some of you that still have a hard time, you can do a 6 chain. Okay, so magic circle, let me show you again. All you have to do is just make like an X on your finger. Put your thumb, grab your thread inside of that magic circle, put it into position, and that's it. Nothing to it. So I did 1 chain, coming back in with a single, and 2 chain. This would be for a double crochet, but I'm going to do 1 more for space. So we're going to create 12 double crochets inside of this space of the magic circle with 1 chain space between them. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. So I'm at the end. I've done my 1 chain. I'm coming in my 2nd chain from the first one that we did with a single and 2 chains. I'm going to pull into my magic circle and close it up. Now I'm going to come back in on the same space and create a single and 2 chains. That equals a double crochet. Back into the same space. We're doing increase 2 double crochets per space. 1 chain space into the next one and create 2 double crochets together. Next space, 1 chain, and again 2 double crochets together. Okay, so we'll have 12 groups of 2 double crochets in the same space. I'll meet you at the end, everyone. So I did row 2 going into row 3. Now this is just going to be a repeat. I believe I'm going to do it until I have 12 rows. So I came back in with a single and 2 chain. That equals double crochet. I'm coming into the next one and I'm doing an increase of 2 double crochet together. So all the way to the 12 row, you could always go bigger. 1 chain space between them, and then come into the next one with 1 double crochet. Next space, 2 together. So this is row 3. So row 4, just going to show you here. Most of you already know the pattern by now because I use a lot of this motive on placement. So basically, so this one here, I did it on the 3rd row, I did 2 together. But not in this case, we're doing 3 here. So let's say we are here, and then row 4. 2 together, row 5, 2 together, row 6, row 7, row 8, row 9, row 10. And I'm going to go ahead until row 12, okay? So this is a different pattern, but the motive here is the same, okay? So all you have to do is just keep doing an increase and 1 chain space between them, okay? You could always advance the video, and you should always see the video in advance before you create anything, because sometimes things are changed in the last minute. And you could always advance to see how many rows I'm going to do. I'm going to see the size if I like it, okay? So we have 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, okay? So we're going to continue to do that 1 chain space. Then again, we're going to come here, close it with a slip stitch on the 2nd chain, do 1 double crochet. So do a single, 2 chain, next space double crochet, and at the end 2 together. So you should have a group of 4 on the next row, which is row 4. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've done up to row 12, so that means I have 12 double crochets. Okay, So on this row here, so I've closed in with a slip stitch on my second chain. I'm going to go up one chain and I'm going to come back in the same space. So I have one single. Next space. This row will be all about singles. Next space, singles. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and your 12 singles. Inside the one chain space, I'm going to do one single. We're going to continue to do that all the way around until the end. One per space. I'll meet you at the end. This is row 13. Okay, you guys, so I've done my singles. Now I have 156. I'm going to do one more in here because I think I'm probably missing 2, but so even if it's extra, it's not a problem. So I'm just going to close it in. So I did 157 singles. I made 2 on my last one, which is no issue. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stretch my thread because I'm going to come in before I go any bigger with this because it makes it easier when you do the gold slip stitch when it's small like this. So I'm going to come in with my gold. Okay, you guys, so I've done all my singles. I'm going to come in right where we have the double crochet and I need to grab my string from the back to the front. So let's try that again. Almost forgot that part. That wouldn't have been funny, right? Give it a good little stretch there. And we're going to do just slip stitch one per space in between. So the double crochet and the single. So that's all I'm doing. And don't tighten your tension. If you have to use a bigger hook, then go ahead, because it will pull too much on the pattern if you tighten the tension too much. So where we have the space there, just continue through it, and then on the first double crochet. So very simple, nothing to it. And just continue all the way to the end. Okay, just like that. And then we'll tie the loose end at the end. Okay. Okay, so I've reached the end. I've done it back into the first one I did. I'm just going to go one more just to make sure that it's well put in there. I'm going to cut my thread a little bit longer. And I'm also going to pull this thread to the back by coming from the back, pulling it, and bring it to the back. Just like that. And then I'm going to make a knot. And I'm going to pass my cut thread right through it. So I'm going to just pull it back here. And I'm going to make like 2-3 knots on it and then tuck in through the gold thread. Okay. Now the ideal thing is if you have material glue, it would be perfect to tuck in a little bit of the thread in between the gold and put a dip of material glue. Now I'm just gonna go through the loops here a bit and make a couple of knots here and there, just so it doesn't come out, because this thread is like a nylon thread, so it's slippery. It can come out easily. So I'm going to just make a few knots. Here and there, of course, where the gold is. And then make a knot here to make sure that nothing is going to come apart, right? And it should be good. And then do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so as you can see, it tends to pull in a bit because we just did the slip stitch, and I try to loosen it up as much as I could. But I know once that I am going to block it, which is my laundry softener. Any softener will do. You spray, stretch it with your hands, leave it dry naturally. I normally light iron over it and put a little bit of steam, and that's it. It smells good, it's fantastic, and it's nice and straight and stiff. So works out for me. Try that, I'm sure you will love that. Okay, so I'm going to continue now with my white. So now we're going to come back in the same space, single, 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. I'm going to skip 1, 2, I'm coming into the third one. Now we need to have even numbers at the end with this, with these loops. Okay, so let's say you have 30 or 40 or 50 or 24, 26, 20. We need to have even numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain, skip 1, 2 on my third one. We're going to do about 4 rows of these loops, but I will show you the little technique to come into the middle for the people that don't know when we get to the end. Instead of doing the slip stitch through the chain, making it thicker, we're going to go directly by a side double crochet or half double crochet. 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to skip 1, 2 on my third one. Okay, so let's do this until the end. Now if we're missing to have the right amount, we'll just cheat a bit at the end. It's not going to change anything on the pattern. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Actually, I'm coming back here again. I'm not going to do the 4. I'm going to start with 3 because we do have 4 rows. So the next row will be 4 chain. So this first row will be 3 chains. So still the same thing. Skip 1, 2, and 3. But instead of doing 4 chain, we'll do 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2 on my third space. Single. 1, 2, 3 chain. 1, 2 on my third space. Single. So we're going to have these loops. So the next row we'll do a 4 chain, okay? But I'll show you when we get to it. Okay, so I've reached the end. I have 53 so far with this last one. Now what we're going to do, we're not going to do the 3 chain. We're going to do a double crochet sideways, okay? So we can be right in the middle. Okay, so now I have 54. And we're going to do, I'm going to come back in and do a single. 1, 2, 3, and 4 chain now into the center of the loop with a single. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain into the center, single. So we are on our second row of loops, and just repeat all the way around. Now when we come to the end here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do that double crochet sideways, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now next row it's going to be a 5 chains. Actually the next 2 rows, because we're going to do 4 rows, the next 2 rows will be a 5 chain. Okay, and everything starts falling into place. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I'm in my last one, and I'm going to do that sideway double crochet. So I'm going to come into where we have the first single that we did, and I'm going to do the sideway double crochet. but I think this is too small because we did 4 chains. So 1 chain and then sideways double crochet. So we're right in the center again. Now we have 2 more rows. So I'm going to come back in, do the single, and you're going to do exactly the same thing on the 4th row of these loops, okay? There's no point in me keep recording. 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next row will be a 5 chain also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we have 4 rows of these loops. First row with 3 chains, second with 4th, and the next 2 with 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then continue on the same way, okay? I'm going to do my 4th row also, and then come back to you at the end of my 4th. Don't forget, when you get here on the last one, you need to do 1 chain, single, 1 chain, and then do your sideways double crochet, and you'll end up right on the center. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of my 4th row of loops. Hey everyone, so I'm on my last one. We're going to do the same thing. 1 chain, come in where we have the single, the first one we did, do your sideways double crochet, and then come back in, single. Okay, we're going to go directly into the next one and do 9 double crochets. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Coming into the next loop, single, and then continue with your 9 again. So this row is pretty much this way. Do your 9 double crochets. And 9 double crochet. Into the next one directly, single. Into the next one, and continue to do your 9 double crochets. We're going to do this all the way to the end. And then I'm going to cut my thread, and I'm going to come in with my gold to finish up with a single. So it's going to be, as you see here on this one, this is what we're doing. Okay, so we're doing the 9, turn it the right way, and then we have the slip stitch on these ones here, and then the little leaves here at the end. So very simple. The only difference is with this pattern, it's a different motif. This is just double crochets all the way around, as you can see, and this one is this way. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so I'm at the end with my last 9. Now remember, we did that sideways double crochet, right? And right away we did a single in the middle here. So I'm coming in and I'm closing. That's why you have to have even numbers on the loop. If you don't, you're in trouble. So I'm going to tuck in my loose end, as you know how I do. So I'm just going to pull my loop through some of the stitches back here all the way down to the bottom. Then I'm going to keep passing it through. I'm just going to make a little knot here at the end, just to be on the safe side. Then I'm going to pass through again, just to get this little knot into a little bit of the loops. And I'm cutting my excess. Now, also, you know how I tuck in my magic circle. For some of you, of course, there's always newcomers, and welcome, of course. Thank you for being here, the newcomers. And you just tuck in between. Just to make sure that nothing is going to come apart. It's nice, tight, and secure in there. So we're pretty much done with the doily. It's only now the decoration of the slip stitch. Now look how gorgeous this looks, right? Okay, on to the gold now. So I'm going to leave a little bit of string there to make a knot at the end. I'm going to do the slip stitch. I'm going to stretch it a bit. Now, like I said, you don't want to tighten. So if you have to grab a bigger hook, then go ahead, okay? So I'm going to pull my hook to the back and grab my string to the front. And then just, whoops, I think I overdid it, didn't I? This is a nylon, so it slips a lot. It's a beautiful color, but it's a little bit dangerous to work with because of the slipping part. Okay, so you're going to come in on every double crochet we have here on the front, okay? Just like that. And you're just going to do the same thing like we did with the bottom one. We're going to slip stitch, but we're going to loosen up our tension. We don't want to tighten it too much because then it's going to pull too much on the pattern. So you're just coming in through here like that on every stitch, including that single, of course, all the way to the end. Now, don't cut your thread because then we're proceeding with that second row of slip stitch and the little leaf picots in the middle of these motifs here, okay? Now look how gorgeous that looks. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I pretty much finished doing all of the contour. Now you could leave it as is and it's just perfect as it is, a doily placemat, or you can just continue on as I'm going to do here. So I'm going to pull my string to the back without pulling every thread here, right? Okay, so pull my string to the back. Then I'll tuck in the one that we left behind, a little longer piece. I'll tuck it in at the end. Okay, so now I'm in the back. I brought it to the back. I'm going to go in back loops only, slip stitch. Simple as that. Back loops only. Okay, so now we did 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I'm on my third. 4. And on my fifth one, I'm going to grab both loops, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3 chain. This little chain in the back is getting me stressed out. Slip stitch. Okay, so 3 chain, slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back in, slip stitch. 1, 2, and 3. I'm sure you must have seen me do this little leaf on many of my patterns. It's just gorgeous. So now you have 2 chains of 3, 1 of 5. We continue on. Back loops only, slip stitch all the way until the 5th one on this motif. And that's pretty much it for this pattern, right? So very simple, but yet very gorgeous, very delicate, and makes a beautiful gift and a beautiful display. So 1, 2, 3, 4. On my 5th, I'm going to grab both loops, okay, and slip stitch. 1, 2, 3 chain, slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you're making like bigger pieces and you like to use, you know, this little leaf here, then you can increase your chain stitch, okay? I'm not going to increase because this is so delicate and we want to keep it delicate. Look how gorgeous that looks. Okay, so simple as that. I will leave the measurements at the end. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please give a thumbs up on the video. I should not be bagging anybody for it. You guys should know that you should do that to any creator because that's what keeps us going. We all need that. That's what, you know, what keeps us going to do these tutorials so YouTube can like circulate the video around. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm already on my 5th. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th. So I have to take this out because we have to pick the 2 loops and not just one on your 5th one. Okay, so grab the 2 loops so it doesn't, nothing comes apart. 1, 2, 3. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will have the little video and pictures at the end in display, my favorite part, right? And all the measurements will be below. And if you want to join my group, my crochet group, you're more than welcome. And if you want to follow my page also, if you want to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, also everything is listed below. Okay? So thank you so much. I send you much hugs, much love to every single one of you. And God bless. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Take care.